The federal affidavit that greenlit the March 2024 dawn raids on Sean Diddy Combs' mansions in Los Angeles and Miami looked more like pulp fiction than police paperwork. It itemized 3 unlicensed rifles, a mirrored server room labeled Archive 2, and instantly meme-worthy 1.072 industrial-size bottles of baby oil. Late-night hosts cracked jokes about Puff Daddy opening the world's slickest car wash. But prosecutors zeroed in on the vault. If that mirrored server really held every hidden camera file Combs had ever stashed yacht orgies, poolside freak-offs, click-clack hallway footage, then Hollywood's biggest secret wasn't that the cameras never stopped rolling, it was that someone finally copied the tapes. Diddy's lawyers immediately filed a 44-page motion calling the raids salacious fishing expeditions and begging the court to suppress all digital evidence. A judge set a hearing for late April, refused to postpone trial, and scheduled jury selection for May 5.2025. The message was clear: TikTok. Suddenly, the industry's red carpet smiles curdled into late-night cold sweats. Justin Bieber deleted half a decade of party clips. Usher agreed to testify. Will Smith grabbed a mic in San Diego and screamed, "I don't even like baby oil." Actor Terrence Howard promised to tear down the great lie, then claimed he'd received threats. And 50 Cent announced a Netflix docuseries titled Did He Do It?, the streaming equivalent of ringing the dinner bell on Judgment Day. What follows is how 9 converging storylines from Terrence's man card speech to a Florida lawsuit that drags Jay-Z Beyonce and LeBron James onto a potential witness list could shatter the entertainment world by the time prosecutors press play on Exhibit A. Because if that baby oil vault opens, the faces that flicker on screen won't be random partygoers. They'll be the idols you hit follow for morning inspiration caught under chandeliers they never knew were filming.
Crashing down.
If you're going to speak against me, then use the same courage that it took for me to say those truths. Man to man, eye to eye, integrity and in truth. I've spent a lifetime earning the right to speak with the conviction about these truths that I speak. So if you want to tear that down, have the decency to come and say it directly to my face and say it like a man.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing. And have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit because the man card means everything.
Memories of their abuse.
So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
April 12, downtown Manhattan. Defense titan Mark Agnifilo stands before Judge Aileen Morales and pleads for a 2-month trial delay. His argument, he's short one lead attorney, Anthony Ricco, bailed in February after, insiders whisper, viewing a single sealed clip. Short one paralegal team, Grubmanshire, dropped Puff after Lady Gaga allegedly said, "me or him," and suddenly facing 5 government witnesses instead of the original 2. Morales listens, glances at the calendar, and drops the gavel, motion denied. Jury selection, May 5. Counsel may work weekends. That is all. It's the courtroom equivalent of a 24-hour eviction notice. Diddy's team must now fight 2 wars at once. A suppression hearing on April 28 and full trial prep for May. The same morning, CNN airs a 3-second snippet it says is part of Cassie Hotel footage. A March 2016 video the defense insists is edited out of context. The snippet shows Combs lunging across a hallway at a woman who looks like Cassie Ventura. Prosecutors say the full clip shows physical assault. Defense calls CNN's scoop manipulated. But casual viewers see only a man's raised fist and form their own opinions. Social media christens it hallway gate. If a judge won't move the calendar, the only path to survival is to kill the evidence before the jury ever sees it. Suppression becomes do or die, and the government has 5 accusers ready to testify if that gambit fails.
Listen, before y'all talk about me, y'all need to talk to me. You see, once upon a time, if a man questioned another man's honor, he didn't do it from the shadows. He had to do it out in the open, with his name, his chest out, and his chin high. Not hiding behind a keyboard or tucked behind edited clips of fair use disclaimers. You see, citing Section 107 of the Copyright Act does not give you free rein to defame, misrepresent, or harm another's reputation. Fair use is not a shield for character assassination. So here's the simple truth. If you take my words, my image, my ideas, and twist them to feed your fear and inflate your ego, if you profit off of my name while calling me a liar, then be prepared to stand behind your accusations.
As we peel back the layers of what Terrence Howard has been saying, we see that Hollywood is filled with predators.
When federal agents first pitched their case to the grand jury, they relied on 2 victims, Cassie Ventura and an ex-employee known only as Victim 2, since the raids. 3 more women have come forward. Victim 4 is a former executive assistant who says Diddy forced her to scout party talent, then threatened to expose her private pictures if she quit. Victim 5 is a stylist allegedly drugged on a yacht in 2022, the latest. Victim 3 asked prosecutors to reopen a 2015 Miami complaint she says hotel security buried. Defense demands 100 of Victim 44's archived emails, arguing she cherry-picked exchanges for the feds. Judge Morales calls the request a fishing expedition, but offers a door crack, narrow the terms, show me relevance, and I'll consider it. Translation, no stalling, do your homework. With each new accuser, the RICO narrative grows teeth. But what really electrifies the case is star power, because jurors lean in when they recognize the witness on the stand. And that's why Usher's flip matters more than any email dump.
You got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far, you know? Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head, you know? But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that It's always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card.
Away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. Now, like, and when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter. Like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, nah, I'll spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable.
In a leaked pre-interview outline, Usher tells prosecutors he lived in Combs' mansion at age 13, saw adult guests engaging in things a kid shouldn't witness, and was offered alcohol on multiple occasions. He adds that Puff liked to angle camcorders around living room edges, insurance, staff joked. Prosecutors won't charge Usher for underage drinking. They need him as a tour guide through flavor camp architecture, where the cameras were, who controlled the tapes, how NDAs got signed. Meanwhile, Justin Bieber performs his own disappearing act. In January, he quietly unfollows Usher, then surreptitiously flags fan channels that host Puff's 2009 White Party footage. When Usher confirms on Breakfast Club that Bieber respectfully declined a Super Bowl cameo, rumor mills spin, did Justin's lawyers warn him he might be subpoenaed? Did he purge early to dodge cross-examination about a rumored guardianship document Puff once drafted? Scooter Braun's office declines comment, fueling speculation, with proteges distancing. Diddy looks for older allies until Terrence Howard drops a grenade on Patrick Bet-David's podcast.
But you got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop.
Shit.
This is Stop it, look. You set that up. Look, obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. Guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think is happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on there. Because it was like, he was like, yo, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, man. I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you could give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm going to mess up the way. Certain things, they let it go by because it's Puff. He wasn't like in the closet. He was like in the hallway.
All these years, you being the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
They say you're a hater. They say you're crazy.
You do this. Yeah, and now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting. Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
This guy. Wow. You're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he didn't show up.
No, he had like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he's been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
Hold on. You're not wrong. At the same time.
He got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like fucking thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no
marriage.
longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce
is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, 1.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see their kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them the things that...
Terrence Howard never minces words, but his April guest segment goes viral within hours. He recalls Puff courting him to be an acting coach, 3 visits, 0 script, long silences, creepy vibes. Howard's assistant whispers, he's trying to smash. Howard ghosts. Another producer propositioned him. Howard threatened to knock his head off. Then he unloads the line that ricochets across YouTube Reels. When you give up your man card, you don't get it back. Bieber's chasing drugs trying to forget. Usher's still haunted. That's the price. He elaborates the industry's gay mafia convinces straight men to trade dignity for stardom, then traps them in hush contracts. Hours later, Howard posts an IG video challenging detractors to say it to my face, warning fair use clip channels to stop twisting his words. Within days, gossip blogs claim Howard's been advised by mutual friends to retract. He doubles down, tweeting, "We're just getting started." One of those allies cheering him on is a Queens rapper with a Netflix budget and a score to settle.
Going in. You better believe it. Shout at Def Jam. We the best. You know what it is. It's 2010, baby. It's the takeover. I'm going in.
Happy New Year to the whole planet. God is the greatest. Real talk. And you know, I mean, if there's anything that somebody can say better than that, I'm all ears. But with that being said, continuous blessings to the whole entire universe.
Big shout to my man Drake is in the house. Fabulous is in the house. This is all brotherly love. My biggest brother of them all, the boss, Ricky Ross, is in the house. Ricky Ross, report to the grass. DJ Khaled, he's the best. He's in the house. Tiana Taylor is in the house. My brother Chris Brown. I'm gonna stick with him through thick and thin. Chris Brown is in the house. You know what I'm saying? Cause something ain't right, so I know Chris Brown is in the house. Big shout to my son Quincy, my son Christian, my son Justin.
Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay, okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Hamas. Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter, okay?
Right.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate, tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Oh, hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
And I'm sure that's probably not public information yet, but who's the person that's number 1 on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
yes,
right?
Yes, without a doubt, you are invited.
That is so generous of you. Cheers to that.
See ya.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson has mocked Puff's parties for a decade hug you from the front and the back. I don't swing that way. In December 2024, he announces a docu-series with the placeholder title, Did He Do It? Netflix's press note calls the story a complex narrative with significant human impact. Street translation, unfiltered, high-budget expos, insiders say 50 paid ex-staff for interviews, licensed home movie B, role from the early Bad Boy era, and even cut a 7-figure deal with Rodney Lil Rod Jones for access to file directory screenshots. Netflix aims to drop episode 1 the week trial opens a scheduling coup that spikes ad dollars and terrifies defense attorneys. Agna Philo files an emergency motion arguing the series will poison the jury pool. Morales reminds him there's something called voir dire. Jackson's teaser trailer drops on IG, blurred faces, cassette static, and the tagline, "The cameras never lied. People did." Views hit 50 million in 24 hours. While Netflix cues its autoplay countdown, a civil lawsuit out of Florida drags even bigger names into the swirl. April 1, 2025. Miami-Dade County Clerk's Office. Legal bloggers nearly choke on their coffee at the defendant list. Sean Combs.ec security chief Eric Messias. Alleged drug mule Brendan Paul, Emilio Estefan, and a witness roster naming Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron James, Gloria Estefan. Plaintiff Joseph Manzaro claims he was drugged in April 2015, smuggled through a tunnel connecting Puff's house to the Estefan compound, forced to wear a penis mask, and paraded at Christian Combs' 17th birthday. Beyonce allegedly asked, "Why is this half-naked white man in front of me?" Jay allegedly shrugged. LeBron allegedly sipped champagne courtside, literal courtside. Puff's indoor gym was hosting a half-court dunk-off. Within 2 weeks, TMZ uncovers flight manifests showing Jay-Z and Beyonce were in Los Angeles that weekend filming a title promo. Manzaro's lawyers quietly amend the complaint, dropping the Carters and LeBron as parties but keeping them as potential fact witnesses. Jay-Z's camp calls the suit a fantasy novel. Yet the optics rattle Team Rock enough to instruct staff, no comment means no story. Agnifilo tries to fold the Manzaro allegations into his racist prosecution narrative, arguing tabloids love to tie every successful black mogul to salacious claims, yet Jay-Z, Beyonce, and LeBron are also black, which muddles the racism motif. While Miami tabloids feast, Will Smith is still digesting his viral meltdown, and the internet thinks it knows why.
High-profile individuals, including Jacob Arabo, Jay-Z, Gloria Estefan, LeBron James, and Beyonce Knowles Carter, are identified as witnesses due to their presence or knowledge of the events surrounding the freak-off orchestrated by defendant Diddy. Wow. And freak-off, of course, is something that we've heard many times before, both in Combs' criminal case and other civil cases, to describe these prolonged sexual episodes, usually with sex workers. But Manzaro is suing Sean Combs. He is suing a man named Eric Mejias. He is suing Brendan Paul, who's been described in another lawsuit as Sean Combs' drug mule, Emilio Estefan, who is married to pop superstar Gloria Estefan, and Adria English, who filed her own lawsuit against Sean Combs, claiming she too was a victim of sex trafficking. By the way, it's interesting he's not suing these other celebrities that I mentioned, like Jay-Z and Beyonce and Gloria Estefan, possibly because he doesn't believe their alleged liability amounted to a civil claim, but seems to want to call them as witnesses at a trial, although I have to imagine they will do everything in their power to quash any subpoena should this case progress, and will
Rewatch the San Diego clip. Will's eyes widen on freak-offs. His laugh cracks on baby oil. Analysts note micro-expressions of fear, not humor. TikTok sleuths overlay his rant with a theory in 2018. Smith attended Puff's Hamptons bash with Jada. Cameras rolled if that footage surfaces. Will's clean comeback era implodes. A former Smith assistant fans the flames, claiming he once caught Will with actor Dwayne Martin in a compromising position. No proof. But the algorithm doesn't wait for receipts. Will's publicist issues a single sentence quip. Mr. Smith stands by his words. Industry reading, "We can't promise the footage doesn't exist. If Will's dread feels palpable, Ashton Kutcher's looks logistical." Fox host Jesse Waters claims Ashton might testify about 250 hidden cameras. Paparazzi film Kutcher at LAX studying a flight board. Rumor says he's checking Lisbon and Lake Como real estate. A rep calls the rumor laughable, but fans compare timestamps. Kutcher at the terminal 1 hour after a prosecution subpoena was DN FedEx to his manager. Coincidence? The comment section votes no. 9 storylines, 1 fuse. The last chance to snip that fuse arrives April 28 when Judge Morales rules on the suppression motion.
But the world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I see them now. Some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all them memes. I can stop all of that. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. That's not funny. Nah, but I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff, but that one your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
And you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way. Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't got that shit in my past. I'm not.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like, not that it's real enough. But
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't fucking give her a drink so she forget what the fuck happened. What the fuck is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the drink. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the fuck? Yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Like, I'm pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. I don't know why it's so hard for people
so
just
for
to
people to feel like
shit is
you
weird.
would have something or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip hop culture could think that everybody in hip hop culture is with that shit.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what's going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
Netflix docuseries that you've been working on. Diddy Do It?
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle. You weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way he would present the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it. Just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff has come. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them. And it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z? That
was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. So.
Agnophilos brief accuses Homeland agents of gruesome narrative stacking, leaving out Cassie emails calling parties fun, ignoring that Victim 2 did NDA-paid choreography for Puff in 2017, and relying on Lil Rod's file directory screenshot without verifying authenticity. Prosecutor Kelly Sandoval counters with a chain of custody log.ips addresses for Archive 2. And sworn statements from Apple engineers confirming the iCloud data was pulled under valid warrants. Morales listens, asks one question, counsel. Can you point to a single case where an unedited time-stamped video was suppressed because investigators quoted victims too vividly? Agnifilo admits he cannot. Court spectators take it as a weather forecast. Stormy for defense. April 28.3 p.m. Morales denies suppression in full. The tapes stay. Defense can still attack credibility at trial. But the jury will see 4 anchor clips. Room 37, HSEP 2009, a Beverly Hills guest room showing 2 underage boys drinking from vodka bottles. Ashton Kutcher's laugh is audible off camera. Hallway 2016 NYC, Cassie. MP4 the CNN tape extended. Puff shoves Cassie, drags her by hair, bodyguard steps in. Hamptons Pool 2022 MP4 US. Senator splashing a topless dancer while security confiscates phones. White Party finale 2009 MP4 Usher. Then 15. Passed a blunt by Puff. Cassie giggles and aims a camcorder back at Puff, filming them. Jury selection begins 1 week later. Defense tries to weed out social media addicts. Prosecution tries to boot hip-hop superfans. They settle on 12 jurors and 4 alternates, 9 women, 7 men. Ages 27-61, playback day looms.
It's kind of interesting. I think that civil suit turned into a look. They looked at it like maybe it's a criminal situation.
Right.
A little early, and it could have been the same lobbyists and the same people that use their connections to make that happen for Puff.
Is that kind of why you was going hard on him the last couple years? Is it because of the liquor situation? Because, to be honest, since the situation he's in now, it's kind of like you fell back on him. Was this all over the liquor, or you just said?
Well, most of that was motivation. That was competing,
right?
For, with brands, and they was ahead of me,
right?
Because he had been working on Ciroc and stuff like that, and then integrating it into our culture and Coco Loso and different things with different people connected to it. So. Yeah, that's what that was. But when you look at...
Today, the music mogul appeared in court asking for a 2-month delay, but it was denied by the judge. Combs also asking to exclude a March 2016 video obtained by CNN, which apparently shows Combs physically assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. His attorneys allege the tape was manipulated, which CNN denies. Let's bring in ABC News chief investigative reporter Aaron Katersky, along with legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer. Aaron, let's start with you. It looks like court is going to start next month, that trial, despite that request of a pushback from Diddy and his defense team. What more do we know about what happens next?
Well, it's going to start with jury selection May 5th. The judge denied a request from Sean Combs' legal team for a 2-month adjournment to try and resolve some evidentiary disputes. The judge said there was no reason that he saw that there needed to be that kind of a delay. Still plenty of time to prepare for trial.
Hollywood's favorite illusion isn't CGI, it's privacy. Sean Combs monetized that illusion, convincing stars his vault was safe so long as they kept quiet and kept coming back. But the digital copy killed the vault, and a federal judge just approved the screening. On May 12, prosecutors open with room 37 H. Ashton Kutcher, now home from Europe rumors. Sits in the witness waiting room. Usher grips a stress ball. Bieber's lawyers hover by the hallway payphone. Will Smith flies to Cincinnati for reshoots, yet checks his phone every 10 minutes. Maybe the tapes show nothing illegal from your favorite celebrity, only bad, flirting, and questionable fashion. Maybe they expose crimes. Either way, the jury will decide, not publicists. And millions will watch reenactments on Netflix 18 hours later, so buckle tight, turn on notifications, drop your predictions. Does Puff walk? Does 50/50's doc send new accusers sprinting to the courthouse? Does Terrence Howard name more names? Because when the Baby Oil Vault finally airs, the verdict won't just reshape one man's legacy. It may rewrite the price of fame itself.
About either, by the way, victim 4 or victim 5?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. I know on Tuesday when we had spoke, we were talking a lot about victim 4, who we know to be a former employee of Sean Diddy Combs. And a lot of the issues surrounding victim 4 in this particular part was about her emails. I can't confirm that this victim is a woman. But as far as her emails goes, the defense wanted the full scope of the emails that the government did not have access to. And so the defense, to their point, they just wanted the full extent of it so it can show a clear picture, because previously they were arguing that this alleged victim was just cherry picking messages and emails between herself and Diddy and sending it over to the government. The defense on their part, they wanted the full scope of the emails. But as far as the judge and his ruling, he said that requesting the full extent of the emails, which by the way are like 100,000 emails. It's a lot of emails, especially if you were having trial next month. But the request he had said, he being the judge, was a fishing expedition. But he said, and he kind of left the door open with this, that if the defense wanted to make a renewed motion pointing to specific emails, specific key terms, then they could go about filing the appropriate paperwork, see how they could go about doing that.